Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Welcome to today's discussion from Bhagavad Gita as it is by His Holiness Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. And at the moment we are covering the chapter 10, the opulence of the Absolute. So far we have covered up to the verses 35, and let's conclude this chapter today. Another about 7 verses to go. Mukham karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hari Om Tat Sat. Verse 36. Dyutam chalaytamsmi tejaste jasvinamaham jayosmi vyavasayosmi sattavam sattavatamaham. Translation: I am also the gambling of cheats, and of the splendid I am the splendor. I am victory, I am adventure, and I am the strength of the strong. Verse 37. Vrishninam vasudevosmi pandavanam dhananjayah muninam pyaham vyasah kavinam ushanam kavihi. Translation: of the descendants of Vrishni I am Vasudev, and of the Pandavas I am Arjun, of the sages I am Vyas, and among great thinkers I am Ushna. Verse 38. Dando damayetas tamsmi nitirasmi jigishatam monam chevsmi guhyanam jnanam jnanavatamaham. Among all means of suppressing lawlessness, I am punishment, and of those who seek victory, I am morality. Of secret things, I am silence, and of the wise, I am the wisdom. Verse 39. Yachapi sarvabhutanam bijam tadaham arjuna na tadasti vina yatsyan maya bhutam characharam. Furthermore, Arjun, I am the generating seed of all existences. There is no being, moving or non-moving, that can exist without me. Verse 40. Nantosti mam divyanam vibhutinam parantapa esha tudde shatah prokto vibhuter vistaro maya. Translation: O mighty conqueror of enemies, there is no end to my divine manifestations. What I have spoken to you is but a mere indication of my infinite opulences. So this is very important. What Krishna is telling us here is just a tiny fragment of his opulences, of his vibhutis. So you can just imagine how much opulent Krishna is. We can't even think of. We haven't even got that kind of thinking power or imagination in our heads. Verse 41. Yad yad vibhuti mat satvam shrimad urjitam eva va tat tad eva gachatvam mama tejo masha sambhavam. Know that all opulent, beautiful and glorious creations spring from but a spark of my splendor. Spark, just a fragment. Verse 42. Athva bahunaitain kim gyatena tavarjuna vishtabhyaha midam kritsan mekanshena sthito jagat. But what need is there, Arjun, for all this detailed knowledge? With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. So in the last verse, Lord has told us everything. That just with a little fragment of his energy, he is supporting and he is pervading in all the universe. Not just this one, there are many more like that, as we know. So we continue from yesterday. In verse 36, Bhagwan is saying that God is also, who is the gambling of the cheats? That is God. So if people will have bad desires, who is going to fulfill them? God is going to help them to fulfill those bad desires as well. So Bhagwan is saying of the gambling of cheats, He's who is the gambling of the cheats, and of the splendid, Bhagwan is the splendor, and Bhagwan is the victory, Bhagwan is the adventure, and Bhagwan is also the strength of the strongs. So gambling is the biggest of all, supreme of the all bad things, of all the cheatings, and that also represents Krishna. His greatness you cannot surpass, and in deceit as well you cannot surpass the Lord. Whatever cheats or whatever greatness or great people we see in this world, they have but a tiny fragment of the total quality what Krishna, what the Lord possesses. So Krishna's greatness is not just one-sided, Prabhupada is telling us, it is all-sided. It covers all kinds of qualities. Among the victorious, Lord is the victory, and among the splendid, Lord is the splendor. He is the most enterprising, most industrious. So whatever qualities we say, they are all springing from the Lord. And nobody can surpass Lord's qualities. At a very small age of age 7, Lord was able to hold the big Govardhan hill when Indra was showing his wrath to the people of Raja. On the smallest finger of his left hand, on the nail of that finger, he held that Govardhan hill for 7 days and 7 nights. So who can surpass God? No one. In verse 37, Bhagwan is saying that of the descendants of Vrishni, Lord is Vasudev, and of the Pandavas, Lord is Arjun. So that's why we have to understand that Krishna is telling everything to Arjun, but who is Arjun? That is also Krishna himself. Of the sages, Lord is Vyas, and among the great thinkers, Lord is Ushna. So Arjun knew everything, but for the sake of the following generations, Lord had to tell this Bhagavad Gita to all of us through Arjuna. So everything great, any quality, any opulence, any person, where is all that coming from? It is all coming from the one source, which is Lord. And what we see is, and it is just generated from a tiny bit of that quality, what Lord has. God doesn't have to use all of his qualities to bring about the qualities in people. Just a fragment is enough to generate everything which we see in this world. In verse 38, Bhagwan is telling that among all the suppressing lawlessness, Lord is the punishment, and those who seek victory, Lord is the morality, and of secret things, Lord is the silence, and of the wise, Lord is the wisdom. So there are many suppressing agents, Prabhupada is telling us, but the biggest of them is punishment. And who is that? That is Lord. And the morality is also Lord, silence is also Lord, and the wisdom in the wise, that is also representation of Lord. In verse 39, Bhagwan is saying to Arjun that I am the generating seed of all existence, Sarva Bhutanam Bijam. There is no being moving or non-moving that can exist without me, Lord is telling. So it is, Lord is all-pervading, is all omnipotent, and without his potency nothing can move or any immovable can exist. So we should all be always attracted to Krishna. Whatever existence is not founded on the energy of Krishna is called Maya, that which is not. What is Maya? Maya is the illusion. It is separated energy from Krishna. Verse 40 tells us that Lord is saying to Arjun, as addressing him as Parantapa, that is, O mighty conqueror of enemies, there is no end to my divine manifestations. What I have spoken to you is but a mere indication of my infinite opulences. Lord is. Nobody can explain all about the opulences and the energies of the Lord, but Lord is describing to Arjun because Arjun is very inquisitive to know about all this. So the example is that a brilliant student will attract everyone to him or herself. But now just think about Krishna, how brilliant Krishna is. So how much all attractive he is. His name is also his name also means all attractive. So Krishna has all the qualities, whatever good qualities you can think of, or we might not even be knowing all of them, they're all within the Lord. So how all attractive Lord is. So attraction of something, attraction of some quality or something should be a kind of connection to Krishna. We all get attracted by different things in our life. In verse 41, Bhagavan is saying that know that all opulent, beautiful and glorious creations spring from but a spark of my splendor. It's self-explanatory that whether in the spiritual or in the material world, just a fragmental manifestation of Krishna's opulences is there. And anything which is extraordinary, we should know that is but representing Lord's opulence, Lord's vibhuti. And lastly, in verse 42, the last verse of this chapter, the opulence of the Absolute, Bhagavan is saying, but what need is there, Arjun, for all this detailed knowledge? Lord is questioning Arjun. With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. So Bhagavan, Supreme Lord, is represented throughout the entire material universes. Bhagavan enters into all the things as Super Soul or the Paramatma, which is within our hearts, sitting by our souls. And the Lord is telling Arjun that there's no point in trying to understand the grandeur, the opulence of the Lord, that how things exist separately. Things are not existing separately. Actually, all the things have got the spark in them due to Krishna. That spark or the light, or that is actually Krishna. That is makes the things exist, whether they are moving or the non-moving. Because Krishna is entering everything as a super soul. So from Brahma down to the smallest ant, all existences are due to Lord Krishna. Krishna is the avatar comes as an avatar in the Vraja as a Vishnu avatar, and Vishnu is the gateway for avatari, that is the avatar. Mahavishnu is the soul of all the universes. As we know, the Garbhodaksha is the soul of each and every universe, and the Kshirodaksha Vishnu is the soul of, or the Paramatma in our hearts. Sri Baldev Vidyabhushan, a great acharya in disciplic succession from Krishna, concludes his commentary on this chapter by saying, Yat Shakti Leshat Suryadaya Bhavanti Ati Ugra Tejasah Yad Amshena Dhritam Vishwam Sa Krishno Dashme Rachyate. From Lord Krishna's potent energy, even the powerful sun gets its power, and by Krishna's partial expansion, the whole world is maintained. Therefore, Sri Lord Krishna is worshipable. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport to the 10th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the matter of the opulence of the Absolute. So we just have to remember that Lord is the supreme and He is above everyone. And Lord is all pervading by the expansion of His partial representation, the super soul, and the pure devotees with the dint of this devotional service, which was indicated in the verses 8 to 11, they can attain the Supreme Lord. So we will commence from the chapter 11 next time in our reading. That is the universal form, and it is quite a big chapter. It's got 55 verses, and thank you for joining today. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. I wish you all a blissful day ahead.